Alrighty, we are live. Alrighty, we are live. And we have audio. So we're all good. Started 5 minutes before the hour. I'm going to put my links in the chat. Oh, what news happened? Oh, Georgia Bulldogs, college football, lost for the first time in a long while. There are 2 unbeaten teams so far, and there's still ball to play today that could change that, but there's unbeaten teams, 2 left. As far as the 1-loss teams, the Ohio State University would have the best 1 loss, and that being losing to number 2. Georgia wouldn't have it because Alabama was ranked 9 or something like that, I think. Who else lost today? Whoever Texas beat. And Texas has 1 loss from earlier in the season, and that team was not ranked as high as number 3, excuse me. So we'll see how that goes. I guess I can go ahead and get my plugs. Got a little water, got the crinkly bottle. Just a second, I'll get my plugs and we'll get going here. All right, do not disturb on the old phone there. Alrighty. If you don't know me, you should. I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. These links are right in front of your face there and in the chat and in the video description. So you got no excuse. That appointment is via video conferencing, so you can do that from anywhere in the world. And so take advantage of that. It's free, no strings attached. You can email me about coaching or anything on my YouTube channel, as I have my Emperor sleeves happening on my Snuggie. You can email me, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com, about Ramsey stuff, about coaching, about Oak Island, anything else that's on my YouTube channel or anything else that's on your mind. I have a minute to email you back. Let's see. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Thank you so much for watching. As always, what is it? 686 subscribers, coming up on 700. Very nice. Thank you very, very much for those of you that have made that happen. Alrighty, so I think we're good. All right, it is 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and live from Cabot, Arkansas. This is Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money, number 48. It is December 2nd, 2023. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Alrighty, so let's see. That's my page there. Like I said, 686 subscribers. I recently passed 8,000 hours of viewed time, and so getting up there. You can scroll down and in past live streams, or you can look for it by name. I did a Ramsey Coach special this morning, and compare the Money Guys to, or actually reacted to a video the Money Guys did, looking at, it's called like Dave's most controversial videos or something like that, where they just give their opinions on that. And so I gave my opinion on their video, which is basically just given the reasoning behind Dave's advice. Yeah, right. I think that it went pretty well, I believe. My video was longer than their video, though. Alrighty. Mine was 51. Theirs was 41 minutes. Right below that, this show, Ramsey Coach. Right below that, the music playlist. And there's Lifestyle Creep. Instead be a widow. And the Baby Steppin' song. I haven't sung it in a while. Let's see. You and me. What is it? You and me. That's why we're rapping. Hey, look at us. We're baby stepping instead of levitating. This is the way. We're baby stepping. Yeah, 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 yeah. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7. We're baby stepping. 1,000 fund, pay off debt, full fund, invest, kid college, pay off house, build wealth. We're baby stepping. Alright, and that's how that one goes. That is the newer Baby Step song. What else we got? Jade Warshaw song. Dead fought, Warshaw and war. Shaw won. Dead fought, Warshaw and war. Shaw won. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz, for good advice that she learned in her youth. Talks about friends while she shows us how to be millionaires. Know yourself, know your money, love your life, not theirs. Almost did the whole song there for you. And there's a video of me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to the John Deloney song. And of course the John Deloney song right there. Ooh, he's got 2 PhDs, 2 more than me. Plus he's got some other certs. John Deloney. I don't do many after shows anymore, so I don't sing these songs that much anymore. And of course the original Baby Step song, if you want to have financial peace, then you should do the baby steps. That's to Love Yourself, written by Ed Sheeran and vocal stylings by the Biebs. Alrighty, and so take a listen to those Ramsey adjacent songs, if you will. Also, I have done how many? 357. I didn't do one in November. I guess I didn't. 357 Ramsey Show after show shows, and the next 2 will be on December 7th and on the 19th. So there's going to be 2 Ramsey Show after show shows in the month of December. Okay, now let's get going. All right, so the tenets of the Ramsey plan are the 7 baby steps. Steps 1, 2, and 3, you do 1 at a time in order. Steps 4, 5, and 6, you do all at the same time in order. And step 7 is by itself and is eternal, and that takes you the rest of the way. Step 1, save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. Step 3, save 3 to 6 months of your expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Step 4, invest 15% of your gross household income into retirement. Step 5, save for kids' college fund. Step 6, pay off your home early. Step 7, build wealth and give. I'll leave this page up and I'll come back to this inevitably. A lot of the advice is like, well, what should I do? You should follow the baby steps. I get a feeling a lot of people read the baby steps, but then they can't. They're too close to their own situation. They can't put their life into terms of the baby steps. And because a lot of it, because it's like step 2, that means you gotta cut out crap, cut out eating out and stuff like that while you're on baby step 2. And so people don't want to do that. So they're like, what do I do? Where am I on the steps? So we'll see. So, and that's it. Let's go to questions. We go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And we sort by new. All right. In a student debt pickle, what would you do? Okay. That's different than the what would Dave do flare. So, I mean, I always talk about people coming here and then they want like Dan Ramsey? I don't know who that is. Actually, Daniel Ramsey is one of his sons, his only son, I think. Yeah, 2 daughters, 1 son. But people, I often wonder why they would come to this subreddit and then expect somebody to not give the Ramsey advice. But it does happen. People go to the Ramsey Show chat and expect people to not give Ramsey advice. They act like they're startled that you would tell me to not have debt. But there is a r/financial advice, maybe financial something. I forget what it is. I saw it the other day. Anyway, Jesus and berries and a student debt pickle. What would you do? Well, it's going to be to pay it off, even before reading it. Let's read it anyway. Let's see if there's a magical something here that says something other than pay it off. The only thing that where you wouldn't pay it off would be if you have an emergency and you're pausing the baby steps. So the order never changes, but you can pause them if you have an emergency, and then you just pile up cash, pay minimums on all debts, then that's it. And then after the emergency's over, then you take anything that's left of the pile of cash and then you will apply that to your lowest debt if you're on step 2. Or you apply it to whatever baby step you're on. I might have to start paying my student loan debt back in January. I'm a bit lost with what I should do. Well, in order to do that, you have to not spend the money on something else. College starts younger where I live. Oh, are we not in America? That's okay. There can be other countries. And one of my parent. All right, college. Maybe you shouldn't start that young. Maybe you should learn S for making things plural. But apologies if English is not your foreign language. Foreign language is not your native language. If it is your native language, shame on you. Hashtag 3rd grade. One of my parents basically asked for student loans for me. When I was 16, 18, suggesting I invested or something. I did not. I did have money aside for college from both my parent, but they never gave me access. Apparently most of it is gone. Okay, so there was money set aside. They set aside for you from college, but they kind of tapped that at some point. All right. Now my relationship with that parent went astray for a couple years and having decision paralysis. That's pretty strong to be not a first language, but we'll see. The amount just stayed there in my bank account. I feel really stupid for not having invested it now. At 25, I have used my own money from part-time and seasonal jobs to pay for college. So I did not add it to my debt. Add to my debt through the years, although I own up to having made very bad financial decisions. Okay, that's great. So if you got money in that bank account, use the money in that bank account to pay off the loan, the student loans. I'm about to graduate in April and have $23K of student debt. 7% interest, doesn't matter, and around 20K in my savings bank account. Great. Guess where all of it except $1,000 goes? To the debt. Yes, you win. I only have one monthly $60 phone bill, $60 for transport, $12 for Netflix, tied $20 a month to church. Great. Your job can, your part-time job and seasonal jobs can pay for that. That's great. And so you have $1,000 emergency fund. So 19 of that 20K would go to that debt, and then you got to pay 4,000 more off. Sick for months. Thankfully starting to get better. Me too. I had the pandy. Still got that crazy cough from it, but it is way, way, way better than it has been. So I am getting rid of it. Since part-time at school this year, government considers I have to start paying back my student loans already. Did fill out forms for special circumstances and keep my full-time status from doctors. Okay, government seems confused and gave me conflicting instruction. I'm afraid I will indeed have to start paying them back. Well, you can like not take that as a final answer, and you can go back to the government and ask for an actual answer that is not conflicting. The good news is I might apply for a deferral, but even best case is start. Why? Just pay it off. So you already have the money. Do it. Planning on graduating before getting a job and making sure I am fully better health-wise and done with physiotherapy. Okay. Also do need to move out from living with my parent by next fall. Okay. Plan was to work next summer to get a bit of money to move out in the fall and start a full-time job with Benny's. Question is, what percentage of my money in my bank account should go towards student loans right away versus emergency fund and savings versus moving out? Well, like I said, I would pay that off immediately. Or as fast as you can, rather. It pays almost all of it off. 19,000 pays all but 4,000 of it off. And then you should probably get a job if you can. If you are healthy enough, if you're cleared by a doctor to work, you should probably work at least part-time and make money to pay your expenses and to pay off that loan. And then you save up for full emergency fund and moving money. 24K in my bank account by September. Yeah, we're not waiting until September. You don't wait till September to do this. This is today, right? 2 hours ago, yeah. So you don't wait till September to start paying on it. You pay on it now. You have money in your bank account. Why wouldn't you pay it off? Yeah, should have paid 20K back right away. No, you pay 19. You keep the $1,000. You keep $1,000 as emergency fund, and you see, this is what I'm saying. Does it say you have $4,000 as your emergency fund? It does not. It says save $1,000 for your start emergency fund, and then step 2 is pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball, and that would include student loans. Those are included with that. I know some people get confused about what debt is. They say I don't have any debt, and then they say, well, I have student loans. Well, I have a car loan. It happens. Alrighty, let's see what we got next. Snail, yeah, brother. Car advice. Hey, I'll owe a boot, $18,500 on my current vehicle, but was offered $28,000. Sell it if you're in debt. Current vehicle isn't the best for our growing family, okay? So if you're having one kid or even a second kid, you don't need an SUV. That's bull crap. You don't. My kids, both of my kids, fat were safe in a sad, I think is the word I was looking for, in a small car, compact car, their whole lives, and they were fine. They have both made it to adulthood, 20 and 24, 26, excuse me. Sorry about that, Bella. I could use that 9,500, which is the difference, towards the next vehicle. Yeah, do that. Inviting cash on the barrelhead. But not really sure the process of it since my current vehicle isn't paid off. Guess the dealership would send my financial holder a checker for the loan. No, you're fine. A check for the loan. No, the dealership's got nothing to do with it anymore. You just send whoever you make the payments to. You just send all that money to them. And they release the title to you, and then you can sign it over to the new buyer. And you can basically do work all that at the same time. You can sign it over to him before or her before you get the title. So that's very common to do. Or the person can give you the money and wait if he wants to before taking possession of the vehicle until you have the title. That would be up to that person. So, but that's how you do that. A lot of people also ask this person, is being offered over the amount of the loan. A lot of people ask, what do I do about my expensive cars? You sell them, and then they say, oh, I'm underwater on it. Well, in this case, say he owed $18,500, but it was only worth 16, so that's a difference of 2,500. Dave Ramsey is fine with you going to get a $2,500 personal loan to replace your $18,500 car loan. He's fine with that. And then, of course, the $2,500 loan would become your lowest debt on your snowball, and that is what you would pay off next. And so that's how you do. That's how you get out of a car that you are upside down on. You can get a loan for the difference. It'd be better if you could cash flow the difference, that kind of thing. Work more for it, yeah, and cash flow it. That would be better than getting a loan, but replacing an $18,500 loan with a $2,500 loan, always approved. All right, Ruranatim, don't know. Like run around, maybe? Why you wanna give me a run around? It's a surefire way to heat things up. Alrighty, 20 thoughts on having a pinch. I'm 28 and I've been working at an office job and have contributed over 8 years towards a pension plan that's established and guaranteed by my state's constitution. Well, can't get more ironclad than that. I hadn't given it much thought until recently, but I've been looking into it more. If I choose to remain with employers in the system, government workers, and a small selection of private employers until I'm 37 more years, my bennies would be guaranteed for life, which would include health insurance and payments more than what I'm making now. It averages the amount paid over the last 5 years of working, depending on the number of years of contribution. Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is you don't know what's going to happen in the next 37 years. You don't know if you'll be able to stay working there. Any number of things could happen, and you wouldn't be working there anymore. I mean, I know government normally expands, and so the jobs never usually go away, but you never know. So that's just, so you can't really make a decision about that except to try to stay with them in hopes that you can do that, but it's not guaranteed that job will be there / you be able to continue doing the job. You never know. Could get disabled in some way and be unable to do the job that you are supposed to be doing. All right. So generally, I think a pension is great, but there are a couple of downsides. About 12% of my monthly pre-tax income goes towards this system. Yeah, that's why you get all the money later. If you weren't putting anything into it now, you wouldn't be getting anything. Also matches close to that 12%, right? That's normal with a pension, I believe. With my current expenses and debts to pay off car loan and principal loan, estimate paying off my debt in about 3 years, unless you work more. You can work a part-time job as well. Work more, spend less, cut things out of your budget, sell stuff you're not using regularly, pay it off faster than 3 years. 4K total in interest. That interest will get you over that time frame as long as I continue to stick to my budget consistently. Yeah, maybe go over that budget again and strike some things from it. Government jobs tend to pay less than the private sector. Yes, sir. And take more of your income for retirement benefits. At least where I live, I can't opt out or temporary plasma pension contributions to get out of debt because they are mandatory. That's correct. That's one of the reasons why teachers are in the top, I think it's the top 3, maybe just the top 5 of millionaire job areas. The teachers, because it's mandatory that they put into that pension plan for retirement. So let's say young enough that I could try a different course and roll over my contribution to an IRA and try working in the private sector, but that comes with its own. So it does. You enjoy what you do, and yeah, I mean, you can try to stay there. Just know that it's not guaranteed to be there as long as you want it. I'd appreciate any feedback. It feels like there are other things I might not be fully considering. Edit one number was way off. Not sure what my brain was at the moment. Well, that happens. It happened to me several times during the answering of this question / War and Peace statement here. Also, one thing you got to do realize is that the pension is not going to have the rate of return as generally. I mean, some of them are pretty good, I believe. But they generally are not as good as a retirement account, 401k, Roth IRA that are invested in the market and making at minimum an average of the S&P 500 index average, which is 10 to 11% a year. And so generally they don't make that much. So Dave says that you need to count this 12%. You're supposed to do 15%. Which you're rightly not doing extra investing, but when you get to the investing stage, you got no choice. It is mandatory, like you said. So you have no choice on that. But as far as the extra 3%, it's not actually 3% because he says count the pension contributions as half. So if this 12%, it would be 6. So that means you need to be putting another 9% of your gross income into, and this is pre-tax income of your monthly pre-tax income. If it's 12% of the monthly pre-tax income, you got to do a little bit more math to figure out what the percentage is of the gross income, because that's what Dave says you should base that on. So it needs to be 15% of gross income. So again, 9, 10, whatever it needs to be, 220, 221 to make up the difference, because this again would only count for 6% of the 15 that he wants you to have, because the pension is not as good as a retirement account invested in the market. Alrighty. Thank you to anybody that's watching. Appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Generate wealth. 2022. Have you ever defaulted on a loan? What was that experience? I have not. So I don't know. I lend money through a personal loan company. Don't do that. I was curious what your experience was, or someone that you know that defaulted. How scary was it when you or someone you know received a letter in the mail that you are being sued? I would imagine very scary. Like I said, I haven't had that issue. Fortunately, if you want, you can make a fake name in the comments to not real personal information. Well, obviously, the fake Generate Wealth isn't your real name, is it? I mean, I guess you could have other posts that have personal information about you, and that's why the kids like to develop the what are called throwaway usernames on the Reddit, which are for specifically for being what's that word called? Keeping your information private, being secretive, being safe for security. All right. Should I sell my truck? It's paid. Oof. Well, that depends on your money situation. Specifically, if there's debt, probably. Let's see. I'm self-employed and kind of in a make or break year where I could go under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. As my cash reserves are running low, probably have to cut employee hours and increase mine. Truck is a 22 Ram. Oh, so new. So probably worth around $35K. How much do you owe on it, dog? Medical and credit card debt. That'll get you. That'll get you. I wonder if this person said that they would pay off the credit card debt every month, and then it didn't happen. You do not finance a business with credit cards. Around 14K, which I could pay off from selling the truck. Yeah, I would do that, especially if you're getting in crunch time with your income, which it sounds like you are doing because of your business. With that debt, I believe I could lower my personal expenses to about 7K a month. Got 4 kids and a wife. All right, I guess to me it doesn't make sense when I'm in a dire situation to keep an asset that could help me, but just wanted confirmation this would be the right move as much as I love my truck. Yeah, well, that's great that you're willing to get rid of it, and probably the problem isn't so much as just having 14K of debt. The 35K that you owe on the truck is more of a problem than the 14K on the medical and credit card debt, actually. So that's mainly what you would be getting rid of, but you could use the proceeds for it, apparently, to wonder what you owe on it. Oh, you said it's paid off. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. It's not a loan. It's that's just what it's worth. Okay, it is paid off. Okay, yeah. So not having any loan payments would definitely help if your business is, like you said, make or break year, crunch time for that, and so that could definitely help. And so, you know, I know you love the truck. I don't care about vehicles. I mean, I wouldn't even be in this spot where I would have this new of a vehicle anyway. But yeah, I would say that's a smart move. And because then not only could you pay off the 14K, but then you would have 21K for a full emergency fund if you don't already. And that's probably the rest of your time for a while here within this next year while you do make or break in your business. So you definitely want to have an emergency fund because emergency will happen, especially if your income is going to be affected by your make or break year here. All right. Rojo Toro 2020. If I'm required to put 7% of my pre-tax income into my pension plan, you are probably most times it's mandatory. Should I be putting 8% pre-tax to Roth IRA? Well, you can't put pre-tax to Roth IRA because tax has to be paid on it in advance in order for you to qualify to put it into a Roth IRA that then grows with no taxes due on it at the time of retirement. So that's how you get that. You either the 401ks do pre-tax free. You don't pay taxes on the contributions, but you do have to pay tax on the growth. The Roth is different. So if it's a Roth 401k or Roth IRA, the tax is already paid on it because basically Roth IRA, you're taking, unless your employer offers a Roth 401k, then you are actually taking money that comes from your check deposited in your bank. You're taking that money and then depositing it in your own Roth IRA that you open yourself, unless you have an investment professional doing stuff for you, and then they would handle that and tell you how they need the money to come in. But again, as I said earlier, pensions, not that good a return on investment. So they count as half. So this would be down to 3.5%. And then you would have to do 11.5%. I did the math right. I'm smart. 11.5. So that counts as 3.5. The 7 does. And so you'd have to have 11.5 to get up to the 15% of gross income. And that's what you base it on, not your pre-tax income. Yeah, so you're right. You're right. It is the gross income is what you're using for that. So you were right about that. Sorry about that. Anything else I want to say about that? Yeah, because the pension plans, they just don't tend to make as much as the market in a tax advantaged retirement plan. And so that's why you have to count that amount as half. If you are on baby step 4. If you're not on baby step 4, you don't do any of this. Because it doesn't say $1,000 to start an emergency fund. But go ahead and invest them. If you're already investing, that's okay. Keep investing. It does not say any of that. There, you stop all investing until you get to 4. And that's after you have completed separately steps 1, 2, and 3. And then you're ready for 4. Alrighty. This from, is it Roto Joro 2020 again? I have 16K in my debit card and 11K in debt. Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of calls about this as well, where they say they have money on their debit card. You don't have money on your debit card or in your debit card. You have money in a checking account, and you access that by using a debit card is how that works. So, yeah. So I hear that all the time. How much money is on my card? None. I have 16K in my debit card. So in your bank account. So yes. Should you pay off your debt? Yes. You should. That means you keep $1,000, and so you have 15K in order to pay debt. If you only have 11K, great. Take 11K out, you have 5K, and that is you're on baby step 3, and that is starting. That is your the beginnings of your full emergency fund, which would be 3 to 6 months of expenses. Again, if you have no more debt. 8K and 3K, all right. Paying off fully will leave me with 5K. Yes, it will. I will then work over the next 4 months to have enough to fully fund my Roth IRA for 2023. Should I pay off my debt? Thanks. Yes, you should. You should not invest before having the full emergency fund, though. Let's see. Pay off all debt. Save 36 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. It doesn't say, but if you don't want to skip this step, go ahead and invest anyway. It doesn't say that there. Doesn't say that there, my friend. Full emergency fund first. You do want to have an emergency fund, because what you don't want to happen is you have an emergency and you put all your money in your Roth IRA already to try to fully fund it. And that would be great if you could do that, if you paid off debt and then you had enough left over to fully fund it before the end of the year. That would be great, but you don't. You need to save that for your full emergency fund. But the good news is you can contribute, not donate. You can donate to me at, where's it down here? PayPal.me/Coach Steve Money, if you like what I'm doing here. But contribute is the word I was looking for. You can contribute to your Roth IRA for 2023 up until tax day, so April 15th or thereabouts, 2024. So you do have the extra time. Oh, and I see this person knows that, because we'll work over the next 4 months to have enough to vote. Yeah, that's not how the baby steps work. After debt goes bye-bye, then the full emergency fund. Now, if there's a situation where you were really doing it wrong and you already have a full emergency fund, then after you pay off your debt, then if you already have a full emergency fund, then you would be on step 4 due to you previously doing it wrong. Basically, previously do it wrong, and then you can do it in order like it should be done, which is best. Fastest way for you to get financial peace. Chemical_Pomelo. I don't know what that is. 2831. Debt snowball question. The answer is yes. Pay off the debt. Let's see what it is here. Debt snowball, by definition, is paying it off in order of the amounts owed, smallest to largest. And doing it any other way is not a debt snowball. So let's see. And interest doesn't matter either on that. That is 0% for 2 years and 1 year in. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. 29.99% interest has been accruing and will be added to the balance if not paid in full by the end of the 0% period. Well, you should have that. That's not my smallest balance card. But the accrued interest is already up to $800. And it seems asinine to add that plus more to the balance in order to get a psychological victory. It does not make sense to pay this one off first, right? I'm new to this. Well, if you have 1 year, you should be able to pay off that card plus the smallest debt as well. Would you not get, how many debts do you have? Would you not be able to pay off both? It doesn't say what, I'll bite. Let's see, there's only 6 comments. Let's see if we can get a list of debts. The interest on it though, 800. Yeah, it's not already your thing. Yeah, so you don't have to adhere to any plan 100%. No, you don't. You can do what you want to. What is this person? What is the balance? Assume keep it. You have to make a minimum monthly payment. Can you save more money in a high yield savings account? Yeah, trying to do other stuff. And this, yeah, this is my thought exactly. DM Canned. Since you're in the Dave Ramsey sub asking for help, you might expect to get some Dave Ramsey answers, which is follow the plan. Steps 1, 2, and 3. Those lenders open, you don't write. And now what the thing you should have done was not use the credit card anyway. But I bet you said you would pay it off every month. I bet that's what you said when you got that credit card. Yeah, there we go. Credit card total is $21K, $8K, which is locked at 3.9, doesn't matter. Then a mortgage, car, home equity loan is student loans, So much. Yeah, I realize an extra $1,000 in interest isn't a lot when looking at the total, but it still seems silly. Yeah, it's not. You screwed up. You have way too much debt. The best way, the proven way, millions of success stories way, is to follow this right here instead of doing it your own way or trying to out finesse it by paying interest somewhere else rather than that interest. Granted, it's a lot of interest, but why did your dumb butt take out something that has 30% interest almost on it? That is crazy, brah. See, and that is how they get you. Well, at zero interest, all of it paid off by then. This is why you can't do the money guy's plan, which is, well, if you have, again, I have not verified this, but a friend of mine told me that they say if you can handle credit cards, that you're allowed to use them, but if you can't, you're not. And so you cannot just throw that in front of the human race and not expect a lot of people to totally screw up themselves with debt, because they're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to be able to handle the credit card. And so you cannot do that. Again, see the Money Guys versus Dave Ramsey video that I did this morning. That is in my live playlist, also in financial playlist. No ad 1060. Go crazy with paying off mortgage or invest. You should be doing both. And so, in case you want to know, just in case you want to know, since you went to the Dave Ramsey subreddit, in case you want to know what the steps are, assuming step 1, 2, and 3 are done, let's assume that. Then step 4 is invest 15% of your gross household income into retirement. And then you also save for kid college if that's applicable. But if it's a situation like they're very young and you have time to take care of that a little bit later, you can definitely put more to the house. But you do not invest more while not paying off your house, because that is what we call debt leverage, and that's something else that Dave Ramsey does not advise. So, but money guys do. So, and it's very easy. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to go to here. It's very easy to do. You just don't try to run it through the Ramsey advice. You just follow somebody else's advice that lets you get into debt and such. That's fine to do. It's your money. Trust me, you are able to, in my opinion, you can do whatever dumb thing you want to do with money. It doesn't matter. If I think it's dumb, I don't get a vote. So you can do whatever you want to do, because I feel the same. I would want you to feel the same way about me and not tell me what to do with my money. Now, granted, I'm also not asking for other people's opinion and not going into debt leverage chat rooms and saying, well, what do you guys think about, I'm not doing that. All right. Where were we? We didn't read it yet. I have $183K left on mortgage. The interest rate doesn't matter. And money guys does think interest matters. So if you think interest matters, they might be your people. Paid down principal by $41K this year. Thinking about going crazy on getting rid of mortgage. If I didn't invest, I could pay about $4K extra towards principal each month and pay that off. How? Let's see. Just this year it's 41, so that's not going to be fast enough to stop investing. Not going to be fast enough. Dave doesn't want you out of the market that long. Also have $65K in a mutual account. I don't know what that means. If it's not tax advantaged, You could sell it. You will be taxed on the gain. So if that's worth it to you, 50K in our Roth IRA, that is tax advantaged. You would have penalties and fees on that. I think both. You wouldn't pay on the gains. Actually, you would have taxes on it if you take it out before retirement age. Yes, you do have taxes on it. That's one of the requirements of that. That's why it gives you the free growth if you are retirement age. And I will have a pension when I retire if they are still around. LOL. Exactly. Would it be crazy to pause investing for a few years? If you can do it in 2, maybe. If you can do it in 2, you could consider it. Dave has approved that before, but he doesn't want you out of investing for longer than a few years. And that's only that's not really in this type of case that he has said that before, but that's the longest he wants you out of investing. Normally it's like up to 3 years, but that is if you are saving for a down payment to save more faster to purchase a house. Pay off mortgage, then go crazy. You're 32, 35. I mean, it probably wouldn't be the end of the world either way, but I think Dave would tell you to just keep kicking it. If this is just a brokerage account, if that's what you mean by that, and then there would be nothing but taxes on the growth that you have to pay, then if you don't mind losing the taxes out of this 65K, put that on the house, sure, and then you have 123K, and then maybe it makes sense to do the investing, but I don't know that you're putting that much investing. 123K in 2 years, no, you're not doing that on a 401K, even a 401K and a Roth IRA. The pension that you have, if it's a United States pension, you can't opt out of that. So all must be considered. Alrighty. Rourke 84. What would Dave do, Flair? How do I nicely fire my financial advisor? Well, long story short, my financial advisor convinced me to buy 4 life insurance policies totaling $750 monthly of the whole life. Then, I mean, you didn't know better. I already own 2 term policies from another company and from my work. I have 50K in credit card debt. Yeah, and he doesn't even mention about putting money or maxing 401K. He says whole life is better. No, it's not. It makes him more money. It makes him more money. That's why. Because it avoid market fluctuation. That guy is an idiot. I give you permission to not nicely fire him. But, I mean, generally, you can just tell him whole life is a crappy product. And, unfortunately, you fell for it. So, I mean, that does happen all the time. Even the people know that it's a crap product. They listen to Dave Ramsey and they know no whole life, but then they get in a room with a financial advisor and then before you know it, they agree to it. Why would you do that? Let's see. Doesn't even mention about. # mention. You don't have to have the about there. You just doesn't even mention putting money. All right. Putting money where? Into savings or paying off the credit card debt? Okay, yeah, it's not better. I have problems saying no. Then you can't be trusted anywhere. Then you can't go to a financial advisor by yourself. Then, if you have problems saying no, you can't be in any situation where somebody can have you agree to something. You can't do that. Then you need to have guardianship or something like that. I can't deal with confrontation due to anxiety and PTSD. Yeah. Is ghosting him the answer? No, because he could still charge you. He still has, if he doesn't have your investments. I wonder what he has, but probably he's charged you fees, and if he's pulling that straight out of your bank account, he can pull whatever else he wants anytime he wants to, and then have to deal with the fraud department later if so. But of course, you can file a police report on him and that kind of thing. But no, not ghosting. You just say the life insurance is crap. I don't think you're a good financial advisor, so I'm going elsewhere. I want to stop paying the life insurance so it will cancel automatically and then block his phone. Yeah, be a man up or woman up, either way, and just say you're going in a different direction to cancel the policies. He can let him do that for you or her as the final thing that they do for you. Or you call the company the life insurance policy is with, the actual insurer. You call them and you cancel them, which is fine. And in that case, then you could ghost him, I guess. But again, if he has your debit card number or your routing and account number to your bank account for charging you fees, then he could be getting money elsewhere for you. Is all your personal information? Yeah, it does. So you need to not try to just ghost then, because that's not the right answer. If you have to take somebody else with you to meet with the financial advisor, do that. Like some big, strong man probably would be a good one. Progress_await. How should I balance transfer 9K of CC? Well, the way you should do that is that you should make $9,000, sell stuff, work more, stop eating out, stop buying stupid crap, and get up $9,000, and then you send it to the credit card company, and then you have transferred it out of existence. That's how you should do that. Mix of reckless spending and failed business attempt. This is why you cannot tell people it's okay to have a credit card if you can handle it. This is why you cannot do that. It is irresponsible to do that. Long story short, and it makes a reckless spending. I have 9K in credit card debt. Be thankful it's not way more than that. Think about doing a balance transfer. My dad in the past advised me not to open a balance transfer ever, as it would ruin my credit. Credit is gone. We don't care about credit. It's the Dave Ramsey subreddit. Dave Ramsey doesn't care about credit score. So the only reason you have a credit score is if you're going to borrow more money, and you're not going to borrow more money if you're going to follow Dave's advice, except to buy a house, and you can get manual underwriting for your mortgage, which does not require a credit score. So that should not be at the forefront of your mind. You should not care about that. If you want to care about your credit score, then why bother asking in the Ramsey subreddit? Except for the balance transfer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that a balance transfers don't ruin it, I don't think. Actually, it's opening up another account, and that might make it go down temporarily for your before the balance transfer happens, for the debt to income ratio, maybe. So it could affect it a little bit that way, but I don't know that it ruins your credit. But anyway, like I said, we don't care about credit being ruined. Credit score is currently in the 660s on Credit Karma, and advice is appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, people get taught that credit score is everything. It's not. It doesn't matter. You don't need it. Every dollar, I'm Canadian, so every dollar isn't an option. What other app is good? There's YNAB, You Need a Budget, is the only one I'm thinking of at the moment, other than the Error Dollar. I think Every Dollar used to be downloadable in other countries, but of course you couldn't do the bank, the importing the bank information. You couldn't do that in other countries, but you could still use it and just have to manually enter in everything. But yeah, You Need a Budget. I believe somebody else probably answered that is more familiar with other budgeting apps. Artificial stuff, baby step 2. Flare, right there. Loving the debt snowball. I mean, step 2 is not the best. Step 2 is probably the worst baby step, probably. Just because it generally if you got any appreciable amount of debt, it takes years to complete sometimes. And so it's probably the worst one. And once you get that done, though, you are still making those payments to things, but it's more like you're making them to yourself. Example, baby step 3, full emergency fund. You're putting all that snowball money you're giving it right back to you as an emergency fund. And then step 4, all that debt snowball money, you're giving it to yourself in the form of retirement. So you do start making payments to yourself there. So I mean, you can kind of think about, because you're you're freeing up future money. Trying to say future and freeing at the same time. I did it again. Hashtag dementia said, freeing up future money by paying it off now. So any amount that you keep sending out every month, eventually when you get done with step 2, eventually all that extra money, that stays with you. That does not get spent on stuff. That stays with you and becomes your emergency fund, and that stays with you and becomes your retirement. So if you can think about, if you can keep that at the forefront of your head, that might make it easier to get through. But generally, I think most people would think that baby step 2 is the most difficult one. 61K in debt, got a 2-year plan to play it off. Excellent. A lot of people, did I say play it off? I meant pay it off. Play it off. Play it off. T-Swizzle. Somehow T-Swizzle put out a Christmas song called Christmas Tree Farm in 2019, and I just heard it this week, 4 years later. How did that happen? I mean, I'm not I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie, but, I keep up with the lass somewhat as far as music. I do much like her older ones, except for absolutely love Antihero. It was excellent. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Got a 2-year plan to play it off, all while maintaining most of my admittedly spoiled level of living. Yeah, see, if you don't do that, maybe it could be a 1-year plan instead. I already have 4 months of expenses and savings sitting around. You're doing it wrong. That 4 months should be taken down to $1,000 and everything else put on debt. So you could be out of debt in a year, but you want to do it your way, which it's your money, you can, but kind of making a hybrid of the baby steps, I suppose. I do suppose as well. I don't know why she's English. Probably not. Probably United States. Wouldn't feel comf using the savings to get debt free in under a year, as my employer is currently very, very, very below their projected profits for the year. Now, that's a lot of vary. So if that's not just drama, like made up drama, I mean, you can, if it's that serious, you can be in what we call an emergency. And then you pause the baby steps, and at that point, you would just be piling up cash if you could lose your job. And the way Dave says to do that is if there is more than a 50% chance that you lose your job, then you go into emergency mode, you pay minimums on all debts, and you just pile up cash to handle coming fiscal emergency, possibly coming. And then when you're sure, when you have a different job, or you're sure that the fiscal emergency isn't going to happen, then you can apply all that cash that you piled up to whatever step you're on, if you wanted to follow Dave's advice, which you do not want to do, apparently. Last month, paid off $1K in credit card debt before the interest-free period expired. Well, that's something. Today, I paid off the last $1,100 I owed on my daily driver. Other cars I own were paid with cash. Excellent. So some of it you're doing right. Excited to knock out a personal loan by June. Okay. Got to rid myself of the stupid, as Dave likes to call it. Oh, having my boat posted for sale. Yeah, that will. Yeah, that'll help. All right. What's the point of this post? Yeah, encouragement and a slight humble brag as a form of self-encouragement. If you're on the fence about getting debt-free, make the plunge, but half butt it. Right? Is that what you're saying? Just getting started, feels like a weight has been lifting off my shoulders. It's imperative to get your finances in order now with all the economic uncertainty we're facing. All right. So, but yeah, like I said, if there is over a 50% chance, then you're in emergency mode. If not, there's no halfway with the baby steps. There is either full steam ahead, or there's pausing and just piling up, paying minimums on everything if you're in debt, and of course expenses, and piling up anything extra you would send to debt or whatever else, other baby step, investing, you would just pile up that as cash. And so, but this person wants to half butt it, and so their money, it's their life. They get to do that if they want to and make it take longer than it needs to. For some reason. They still want the props, though, you see. They want the props from people and themselves. So if you can talk yourself into being happy about not doing it correctly, more power to you. Just paid off student loans, keeping the other two. Just paid off 2 loans. 2004. That's 19 years, babe. 19-year loan. My kid is barely, I've had him since 2004. Yeah, 2004. Since deferment is over, I see. Oh, it's student loans. Okay, so yeah, those tend to stick around a while. And buy-in didn't offer to pay them off. Well, you're the only one, apparently. Everybody else thinks they're still getting it. Still have 2 more loans of 2.8. I'm keeping. I figure I'll pay them off only if the bank sends me a limo to pick me up. All right. And it is really disheartening that the post has been up for a day and has no upvotes. I thought we celebrated these kind of victories here. This is why depression rates are so high in the country. Well, I mean, you can't count on being picked up by the internet. That's the beauty of the internet and the badness of the internet. Okay, just if you think that you deserve something, but I mean it might be the fact that you said still have 2 more loans that you're keeping and you're not paying off. That's the problem. See, because that's the non-Ramsey thing that's happening. You're supposed to be paying off those as well. And so maybe having loans is why the depression rates are so high in this country. It might not be because of Reddit. And if it is because of Reddit, there's an easy way to avoid it. You don't log into Reddit. And you don't post things in Reddit either. Justin Burt, 1. Electronic vehicle tax credit. I need some help figuring out this dilemma I'm in. Current EV tax credit for the year is $7,500 Tesla Model 3 if bought new. If a tax credit is going to convince you to buy something, don't buy it. I ran my own business this year and will owe roughly $8,000 in taxes. My idea is to put $25,000 down, finance. Do we do that in the guest? Does Dave Ramsey say finance a car ever? Like ever? Does he? The answer is no, in case it's a trick question. If you've listened to Ramsey for 2 seconds, you know that he's the no debt guy, and cars that's a no-brainer. You don't buy cars except anything in full cash. So that you would put the whole amount down. I guess it's $40,000. So you got to spend $40,000 to get a $7,500 tax credit. And so how are you getting over on something by doing that? Use the $7,500 as a tax write-off. Oh, you're just trying to see again. You're trying to spend a whole lot more money in order to get a little bit of money forgiven. So that's generally how that works. This will eliminate what I owe in taxes this year. So the way to do that, my friend, in business is that you have write-offs of things you have to buy already. Example, if you have to buy printer paper for your printer at work, that would be a write-off. You would have to buy that anyway to print stuff, and so you do that. You don't look at, let's see what the tax credits are. For Tesla. I need a Tesla all of a sudden. So that would be a negatory good buddy. Let's see. With that being said, I still have a $15,000 note that would need to be repaid. Oh, I see, if he does it. Okay, or she. As what it would cost, at the same expense as what it's cost. This is what we're called here when I factor in depreciation, charging costs, insurance price raise, maintenance, among other things. This is what we call pulling into justification station here. This tax credit seems like it would be of full advantage to me. Of course it does, because you want to do it. Regardless of how stupid it is. I could sell the car at any time if something were to arise, but I have a job currently, even with the $25,000 down. We'll still have $20,000 in savings. I can explain further if needed. If you have $20,000 in savings, pay for the whole thing and get the tax credit without getting a loan. Dummy. Stupid to do it that way. No cars finance. No, never. Yeah. Let's see. What time is it? 8:09. Maybe I'll do just 6 more minutes. Do an hour and 15 show today. Normally I go 2 hours, 2:30. Faithlessness, okay. So 74, 77. It's not really okay. You got to have a faith. Car repair, yes, no. Car market value, 6K. Euro, USD. Aren't those different amounts? I don't know what that means. Repair, 2,300. Car can then keep running 3 to 5 years, no issues. False. If you get one repair done for $2,300, that does not mean you will not have other issues on it in the next 3 to 5 years. And hopefully one of the 12 comments there, at least one, pointing this out to faithlessness for being very, very incorrect. I mean, I appreciate the brevity, but it's not that smart and it's not accurate. Point of grace. I mean, granted, this is what you want to happen after you spend $2,300 fixing a car. Sure, I get it. Is it reality? Negatory, good buddy. This is Coach T Money. Hammer down, what is it? Hammer down. I'm eastbound and down. Point of grace. To pay off student loans or wait for forgiveness. And how will you be? You think Biden will eventually get around to you to find like what little groups he can keep forgiving, and eventually he'll get around to something you have or something that affects you? I see this question a lot, and no, forgiveness can be spotty. That is an understatement. But just how spotty are we talking? A lot. There's still, out of the total percentage of people that have student loans, very few are getting forgiven. Just resume student loan payments. You signed them. That's fair. About 193K of graduate loans. You should be making plenty of money then to pay those off. What's the problem? The payment plan I'm on, save plan, formerly replay, restates if your monthly payment is not enough to cover the inch, so the government covers the rest so that your balance doesn't continually increase. Secondly, it states that after 25 years, the remaining balance will be forgiven. You have 193K of graduate loans, and you didn't get a job that allows you to easily pay that off in way less than 25 years? That's ridiculous as well. I take it back about the person here with the car magically can keep running after one repair for 3 to 5 years. One repair, $2,300 now, and then 3 to 5 years. I like the time span too. It's not just for 3. I could do it up to 5 years with no other issues, no repairs needed after that. So I apologize to that person because yours is the dumbest one here. All right, let's see. Plug these into student loans. Gov.calculator. Glad our tax money's working for us there on the old government.gov sites. And the standard 10-year payoff payment would be somewhere between $1,500 to $2,400 a month. Total estimated to be paid over 10 years is about $250K. Yeah, so pay off the $193K, dummy. Goodness gracious. Oh, man. You got graduate loan. You got a graduate degree. Hopefully did not get the graduate degree after getting the graduate loan. So hopefully you got a graduate degree for $193K. Hopefully all that education would have made you smarter than this, you would hope. Alrighty, First Lady of Arizona. Baby step 2 flare, 32.6K paid off. Excellent. Official as of today. I queued it up. Why not? 13 months ago on 11/2/22, I had 17K credit cards, 7.7K private student loans. I could just turn that down. My goodness. There we go. A car loan. 7.85K car loan. federal student loans. I work for nonprofits, so I'm on the personal student loan forgiveness plan. Loans will be forgiven in less than 3 years. I hope so. All of those PSLF do not go through. Now time to save up a 3-month emergency fund and then a down payment on a home. Well, Dave is going to tell you to pay off your student loans, and that's part of baby step 2. So you are still on baby step 2. So premature Price is Right winning sound music. That's my fault. I need to scan ahead before I start up the good music next time. Because you do not deserve it. Sorry. Alrighty. I really want to ask Dave this. I will make this one the last one. Cheerio. Cheerio, love. I really want to ask this. Roth Dave this, okay? Dave doesn't read the Reddit. I'm almost positive. I would almost bet my hands on it. Roth versus traditional capital gains. Okay. Roth tax-free gains advantage that Ramsey touts in multiple videos. It does exist. You don't have to do that. It's not like I do when I talk to younger people about their circulation, just because mine is gone because I'm old and have the meatus. And I'm just pretending I know circulation is an actual thing. Tax-free gains is an actual thing that's in the law that established the Roth and the 401k. That's all together there. Let's see. And the 401 is the paragraph number, and the K is the subsection of that, or the section number or something like that, and the K is the paragraph. Something like that. You know what I'm saying. Basically, every time there is another fallacy. No, it's not. As is easily and frequently demonstrated by other folks. Too long didn't read being taxed at source, which leads to less initial cap. What does that mean? Exactly offsets the difference in capital gains. What? I think that if you tax the contributions, you can't claim those, can you? Let's see. Because you're already getting the benefit of it being No, you're not. No, you're not doing that because you don't get benefits on anything. Because yeah, they are being taxed at source. You cannot write off Roth contributions. If you can, it's news to me. Can you write? Whoops. Can you write off Roth contributions? This would be news to me. Aren't deductible. What do you know? Google says, the IRS.gov website says you're a liar, sir, or madam. Being taxed at source, which leads to less initial cap. What does that mean? Capital gains? What leads to less capital gains? Exactly offsets the difference in capital gains. That's not true at all. I think Roth can still make sense for many, probably as a direct result of playing the future versus tax bracket, but the greater cap gains thing is BS. You won't have to pay tax on it, and you will have to pay tax on the 401k contributions. It's pretty new day versus the rest of the world here, as far as I can tell. No, everybody else talks about because you'll be making less income, and so your tax rate will be less, but it won't be zero, which it is if you do Roth. Your tax results on money you withdraw from your retirement account, if you're retirement age, you get growth, free growth. So what? I'd love to get a sanity check on this. Feels like particular flavor of cool. Kool-Aid from a man I otherwise greatly respect. No, you're just confused. You're just confused. I don't know what you mean by leads to less initial cap. The only cap here is what you're talking about, sir. So, I don't know. I'll look into this a little bit more and see if there's something I'm missing on here. But you saw it. You can't. It's not deductible. So it doesn't offset crap. So I don't know what you're talking about. And so probably 51 comments. Probably they got him on that. Ooh, a yummy burger. The Good Burger 2 meal now at Arby's. Good Burger 2 streaming on November 22nd. Paramount Plus. I did not see the first one. Heard it's funny. All right, one more since this is a related question. Master Electric Engineer, baby step 2 flare. So if I make 230K plus, I can't do a Roth IRA or traditional IRA. No, you have to do a backdoor, I believe. But not on baby step 2, you don't. It doesn't say $1,000 emergency fund, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. And then if you make $230K a year, definitely just skip to step 4 and start investing. Does not say that. Kind of get the Roth income limit, but why is there a tax advantage traditional limit? It's because it's a personal it's because it's a personal tax advantage thing. And so if you make 230K, you don't need a tax advantage thing because you already have a tax advantage by making that much money, is what the government thinks on that. So you have to just invest into just a brokerage account. So I might as well just do 401k and a brokerage, right? Yep. Why WICBID? I do an IRA, I get no benefits. Again, you could do backdoor Roth. And that's still tax-free growth. I mean, it's going to cost you, more to set that up. But Dave opens a new one every year. Backdoor Roth. Alrighty, so we'll let's skip to this one. Do that this one since it's also Roth. It's for 1K for 35 plus a year horizon. So again, you got 35 years. 35 years of growth that's going to be growing. Do you want to pay taxes on a small amount? Small amount that you contribute? Or do you want to pay taxes on a large amount that is the growth when you're retired? That would seem like if there's zero taxes on it, that would be like having extra money in your retirement account, not having to pay taxes on it, right? That's what it would seem like to me. Because you keep whatever you take out. Yeah, I mean, what he means is no taxes on it. Yeah. Offers more growth potential. You can do both. You can do a Roth IRA and a 401k. You can do both. So, will I be able to go above the 6,500 limit? That's for a Roth IRA. The company doesn't match for a Roth IRA. Roth IRA is an account that you personally open. That's an individual retirement account. That's what the IRA stands for. It's not a workplace plan. So now there are Roth 401ks, but even then, if there's a match, that has to go in a traditional 401k, not in a Roth kind. It's just the law, the way the law is. So I reckon I ought to get on the phone with our finance company I just like to know. Yeah, so you have incorrect assumptions there. So, but you can have both. And 35 years, you'll be doing great. And I would definitely, because there's a limit on the Roth. You can only do 6,500. Alrighty, so that'll do it. I'm gonna go cough somewhere else other than on the YouTube. Alrighty, so yelling at dumb people. Alrighty. You know, maybe they're not dumb, maybe they just don't know any better. Hopefully, and granted, most of them won't even see this, so they won't know that I've yelled at them. But a lot of times, other people that are familiar with finances and know Dave's advice will set them straight in the comments, and hopefully they read that. Alrighty, upcoming streams, there's going to be there's going to be 2 Ramsey show after show shows. And that's kind of like this show, but I talk about other stuff as well, other than just answer questions. We have a recent tradition of starting a show and tell, where people in the Ramsey Show chat send me pictures and stuff. I've asked for Christmas-related stuff this time, and so that should be fun. And I sing the songs, of course, the Ramsey adjacent songs that I have on in my music playlist on my YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. And so those 2 are coming up on the 7th and the 19th of December are the days for those. So there's 2 of them this month. There was not one in November. Any other streams? Oh, this show obviously is a stream, live stream. And this is Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money. And this is most Saturdays. Every once in a while, if there's ball on Saturday night, like a game I want to see, I will bump this to Sunday night at 7 Central, 8 Eastern Time. And that's also the time it is on Saturdays. And what else we have? We have Curse of Oak Island, no cap recaps. Those are out Tuesday nights. Right after I get time to watch. Basically, I can watch the episode while it's on and start working on it as I'm watching it and enjoying it at the same time. And so I can generally get those out pretty fast after the show is over. I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you got money problems or you don't understand Roth IRAs versus 401k, or if you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. That is a video conferencing appointment, so you can do that from anywhere in the world. These links are in the chat, in the video description, and right in front of your face right there on the screen. You can email about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, like the Ramsey stuff, like Oak Island, like video games, like my Ramsey adjacent songs, anything you want to talk to me about. I do have a minute or so to email you back. Channel donations, paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Much appreciated. Add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. Thank you so much for watching. What up, Matty Bags? #mention.